My name is Caitlin Lushington, and I am the co-artistic director of the Enso Theatre Ensemble. Our first production is going to be an adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. Now, I first fell in love with Jane Austen when I was, I think, 13 or 14. It was at a New Year's Eve party. Joe Wright's adaptation, his film of Pride and Prejudice, had just come out, and someone had put it on the TV, and while everyone else was counting down to midnight, my eyes were fixated on the television. I completely fell in love with the story, and from there, I had to get my hands on the book. It didn't matter that the book had elevated or difficult language. I had already fallen in love with the story, so I was like, I'm just gonna learn this language. And then the summer after my senior year of college, my dad sort of offhandedly suggested, why don't you write an adaptation of Pride and Prejudice? And so I started writing. I didn't really know how to begin, so I started by just taking direct quotations from the novel and translating it, and it just ended up becoming this really grueling process. I finally got so frustrated, I was just like, and I hit this roadblock. So I decided to look at the writing process in a different way. My best friend and I grabbed all of the hats in my house and a camera, and we filmed the script. And so as we went, we would make up new lines and invent new things, and I was starting to build the characters and then realize that some stuff didn't work. At the time, I thought I was going to be using British accents, so there were British accents. But it was really fun, and it opened up my creative space that really rekindled my fire, and I continued to write, mostly at Starbucks. And so finally, this same best friend was like, Caitlin, you need to finish your first draft. So she gave me a deadline, and so I did. Probably around midnight. I wrote my last sentence and I sent her an email that said, Pride and Prejudice, first draft. And then of course many changes have been made after seeing the Castro Valley Dramatic Arts Academy do their production. I absolutely went back to the script and went, oh, okay, so that doesn't work, or this really works and I want to put it in all these different places. When I did it with the Oregon Conservatory of Performing Arts, I also made similar changes. I'm sure that now, once we do our first full production, I will again make these same discoveries. And I can't wait to make those discoveries because it makes me a better writer and a better artist, but also a better human being, because I think I'm in this process of learning how to understand people better and how to represent them better. This story is about two people who can't be with each other, and they figure out how to do it anyway. They're a little more knowledgeable at the end of the story, but they're still just as stubborn. They're definitely gonna have fights. And there's definitely going to be bad moments, and you know that, but they are able to kind of breathe and go, okay, that's who you are, this is who I am. How do we be together? This piece is different from your traditional stage play. There's very minimal costume and very minimal set. The audience's imagination is very, very powerful, and I think that it is more powerful in some circumstances to take away things like costume and set and just make suggestions of them. And the audience gets to fill in the rest. So not only are the actors telling the story, the audience is telling the story as well. We are all the ensemble. It uses physical theater to help tell the story. What that means is that, for example, the ensemble is on stage the entire show. They are constantly watching, supporting, and listening. Anyone in the ensemble could pick up a hat and become a different character at any moment. So if we need a door, then someone jumps up and they're like, okay, I'm a door. We are creating a space in which audience and actors alike are simultaneously on a journey to fight through their pride and their prejudices, breathe, and simply be with another human being.